NCAA, I'm going to send y'all an invoice for my medical bills because this transfer portal done gave me whiplash. What the hell going on around here? Welcome back to the Crimson Watch, where we watch the tide roll. I'm your host, Kara Witt, and of course you all know by now that Caden Proctor is coming back to Alabama. What is going on here? I just did a video about Nick Saban talking about this transfer portal and this NIL, and in my comments, y'all cut the fool. Well, I ain't gonna say y'all. Haters cut the fool, telling me, oh, you weren't complaining when he was making all the money and the kids weren't making no money. That lets me know that y'all didn't watch the last video all the way through, because y'all see him making points that I made in the video. But Nick Saban just recently told y'all this was going to happen. This is why I call him Nickstradamus. Because if you know anything about Nostradamus, he predicted the future. And one thing about Nick Saban, he be predicting the future. I mean, it didn't even let a week go by before we actually saw the manifestation of what he be talking about. Caden Proctor in and out the portal. I told y'all, stay in or out. I said that. And yet here we are again. But, you know, we welcome you back. I ain't going to say with open arms because, you know, how you left was kind of a little shady to me. But the way you left wasn't as bad as how everybody else left. My only question with him coming back is he committed? Is he committed? And based off the things that you have shown us, Mr. Proctor, you're not really committed. You're coming back and you want to wear that script A. I get it. So I'm going to love on you because you Alabama, you gang. But all of this indecisiveness, this is why the transfer portal needs to be corrected, because as long as we don't have contracts, we don't have commitment. As long as we don't have contracts, we don't have consistency. And what you see with Caden Proctor, the prime example of what you're going to see with many other players. It's the indecisiveness of it. He's a young guy and he went over there and got some money. So they say. I don't even know if he really went over there and got a whole bunch of money. I'm sure he did. You know, I'm not naive to that fact. But the fact that he can go over there, take their money, and then come back to Alabama, I mean, come on, y'all. That's crazy. And the thing is, Alabama fans, we're not saying, oh, this is so great. The transfer portal is great. It benefits Alabama, but we still recognize and acknowledge that there is still a problem with the transfer portal and this whole NIL situation, even when it benefits us. It's a problem, and we're seeing it today, which is why y'all are now complaining and crying and saying the same things. You are mirroring exactly what Saban said less than a week ago. So I want y'all to remember his words. Proctor, I want to know, like, did you remember his words when he talked about adversity? Did you remember what he said? You don't just run at the first sign of adversity. Okay, you were homesick. Sir, you want to go to the NFL one day, right? So you're probably going to go to a team that's going to be far away from home. You can't say, oh, I'm homesick, I want to get a trade. Or, oh, I'm homesick, I'm just going to quit the NFL. And you're making millions of dollars. That's a little bit of the adversity that you're going to face. So the fact that you left and now you want to come back, which is fine, you know, that's your right to do. But it just kind of shows your character, or it kind of shows who's ill-advising you to do the things that you're doing, because these decisions are questionable. Again, we're happy to have you back. I mean, some people are not happy to have you back, but I'm happy to have you back wearing that A so you can develop and get better. But we got to call a thing, and we got to call a spade. Proctor, you know, I just question your character. And I want to talk to the fans a little bit, because some of you are saying, oh, it doesn't matter, I want them all back. Listen, I don't want Bond back, I don't want Black back, and I don't want Seth back. If they end up coming back after everybody play their spring game, then so be it. But I don't want them back because I don't like the way that they left. Now, some people are saying, well, no, we need everybody we can back so we can win ball games. I want y'all to remember Saban's words. We gonna win with or without you. I'm not going to get on my hands and knees crawling and begging for some player to come back. The only one I really didn't want to leave was Downs. But when he left, it is what it is. The tide going to keep on rolling. And I think that some of you fans are forgetting that. I have said this over and over again. Whoever comes, that's who we going to represent. Whoever leaves, then they the ops, period. Y'all, I'm just like, are y'all even Bama fans to be saying some stuff like that? If they want to come and play for the tide, if we say that we the standard, then we're going to be the standard. Then they should know where they should come back to. That's why the current Bama players that are still playing, who did not transfer, are saying the grass ain't always greener. They telling him, bro, what you thought? You were here and went over there to Iowa. He saw them facilities. He saw it pales in comparison to the Alabama Crimson Tide. And he said, no, I'm going to go back down there to Alabama. Even though Iowa is his home, he knew what side his bread was buttered on. So, no, I'm not going to be saying we need every player that we can get. What we look like? We ain't no poverty program. We Alabama. Stop playing with me. But since he's back, I don't think it should be no easy road for him. It shouldn't just be automatic. Because he played last year, it should be a plug and play. Let's not forget, Jalen Miro was sacked 44 times last year. Now, some of those were on him, but you had a hard time trying to block and move your feet and do things like that. So if you're going to come back over here, you need to commit to being better. You need to commit to moving them feet, blocking, so our quarterback can do what he need to do, so he can improve and he can excel, and he got to be running for his life. So yeah, we welcome you back. You back in that crimson and cream. You family. It's just like when you fall out with a family member. You know what I'm saying? You fall out, but all is gonna be forgiven because you back on the team. So we're gonna support you. We're gonna represent you, and we're gonna be pushing for you to get better because we don't want that crap that you had last year. Now, if you're gonna come back to Alabama, you're going to come back and you're going to get better than you were last year. Now, towards the end of the season, you improved greatly. And, that was very good. So your ceiling is very high. But if you're going to come back here and still be what you was in the beginning of the season last year, you could have stayed in Iowa with that foolishness. And you're going to hear about it, and I'm going to tell you about it. But since you're back, welcome back and roll tide. I'm going to take into consideration that he's very young. And, he is doing things at the heat of the moment. Very emotional. This is very new for college sports, and these kids are taking advantage of it while they got the opportunity, because things are going to change, especially with Big Bad Alabama in the spotlight, taking advantage of this transfer portal thing. And we don't even know what it's going to look like in April. It's going to be a rodeo. It's going to be crazy. We might have other players coming back, but the rules are going to change. I think they're going to change faster than we anticipated, especially considering that Alabama is the one that everybody hates, and they don't like to see Alabama benefit from anything. So they're going to change those rules very fast. Now I want to swing back around and talk about Nick Saban and how y'all cut up on him. Y'all cut up on him real bad, man. Y'all was in my comments asking me, telling me all kind of stuff. Y'all called Nick Saban everything in the book. Y'all called him a white hood wearing Confederate flag toting, the South shall rise again racist. When that man was just telling y'all what was going to happen. And it happened. Like, how many times this man got to come around and say one thing, and then y'all get all up in arms and say he wrong and he mad and he bitter, only for it to come true? Y'all ain't learned y'all lesson yet. He always said he don't mind that the players are getting paid. He think it's a good thing. But y'all hear what y'all want to hear, like I said in the last video. But hey, here we are. It happened. It's going to happen again, and it's going to overturn and overturn. Wash, rinse, and repeat. It's going to keep happening. In other news, Ryan Day. Now, I know this is a Crimson Watch and we talk about Alabama, but I want to talk to Ryan Day specifically. Ryan Day, keep your mouth off Miro. You understand what I'm saying? Now, you got Seth. Now, you deal with that. But one thing you ain't finna do is talk about foe, okay? That's how QB. Seth is a graduate, okay? He is very experienced. So them snap infractions that he had is no excuse. And don't sit up here and try to blame the QB, because there's no reason for the QB to be picking up the ball out of the grass. So please save it, Ryan Day, okay? Worry about that team you got going over there, because all that money that y'all done paid to have all them super players, and you got a super team over there, if you don't go make it to the playoffs, if you don't make it to the national championship, you gonna be in the hot seat, because you was already in the hot seat last year. But this year, for sure, you need to be worried about what Ohio State doing. Don't be worried about the cadence over here at Alabama, okay? And matter of fact, you need to be worried about keeping some of them old Alabama players, because look, we might be making our rounds for downs. But anyway, Alabama looks real different these days. Sometimes I don't really like change. If something is working, that's what you need to stick to. But when it comes to the changeover that we had with Coach Saban and now the Coach DeBoer era, there's some change that I am welcoming, like more access for the media. I don't really mind that. However, I feel like we need to limit it a little bit, because it's allowing somewhat people who are inexperienced to claim that they have inside information and they don't. And misinformation is being spread on social media like wildfire. So I think it kind of needs to be a little bit of a lot, which I understand why Saban limited the media in practice and limited access to the team, because too many people want to act like they're connected to the team when they're not. Now, granted, some people do have access to the team. They do have inside information, but I guarantee you they are not on social media talking about, I'm hearing some things, I know some things, my sources, my insiders. I guarantee you the people that actually know, they know, and they not running their mouth about it and telling people that they know. But those people who just like to say that they know something, they really don't know something, I'm getting a little tired of that. Especially when it came to this Caden Proctor thing. A lot of people wanted to get out there and say, oh, well, I knew, but I just couldn't say anything until now. You didn't know anything. See, I don't understand where people get out of saying that they know something when they really don't know anything. It's like engagement farming. Just be quiet. At this point, if your W-2 does not say employed by the University of Alabama, or if you're not a former player, I don't want to believe nothing that you got to say, because a lot of y'all be out here lying. I just don't think it's ethical. Again, like I said, some people do know some stuff, and some people, they just do things for clout. So let's just cool it down on who knows what or who don't know what, and let's just chill and watch the team and enjoy this new era of college football that we got at the University of Alabama. Okay, y'all? That's all I got for y'all today. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe this video, and make sure that you stay tuned in to the Crimson Watch, where we watch the Tide roll. Okay? Roll Tide, y'all.
Make sure you guys give us a big thumbs up.
That's right.